So the original title was "Pimp Your Career," so they made me change it to make it a little bit nicer. My jobs are as such that I teach leadership here at the university, mostly to corporate groups at this point in my life. And the other part of my job is I'm an executive coach. And if you know executive coaches, they listen a lot, they don't give you advice, and then they charge you a lot of money. Okay, so I'm going to do the opposite today. I'm not going to charge you anything, and I'm going to give you advice. I'm going to give the same advice that I give my own clients. And believe me, I was getting between 5 and 10 requests a day when this whole craziness started. So there's a lot of people out there very concerned about what do I do next, what do I do now that I've been laid off, that kind of thing. And so what I want to do is kind of combine this human element and how you use AI with the human element, because it takes both. You're not going to get, I had this one guy come to me, he said, I've sent out 2,000 letters this year, 2,000 resumes. He said, I haven't gotten one interview. I said, by the time you got to 200, didn't it strike you that this strategy wasn't working? And now I knew I didn't have a job. But anyway, we finally got him a job. But the whole point is that there's this union between the human part of this thing and the use of AI, and more and more we can use it to find jobs. So let me talk about a couple things. Number one, we tell people, go to LinkedIn. If you're not on LinkedIn right now, you're probably not on this planet anymore in terms of getting a job. And look at not only your number one folks, because that's where everybody goes. They all go looking for jobs, talking to their number one contacts. Go to the 2s and 3s, because loose contacts are more likely to find you jobs than your current group. So you want to reach out to as many groups as you can farther away from you. There's a lot of research and theory on loose contacts. That's where you're most likely to find your jobs. So we tell them that first. Go update it. Start reaching out quickly as you can. Then I tell folks, do what's called informational interviews. Anybody ever hear of informational interviews? There you go. We got a few smart people here. Okay, well, the rest of you are not dumb, but I'm not saying that. But the point is that informational interview is this. You call somebody up who's working a job that you might be interested in, not to get a job, but to get advice. Not ask for a job. When you ask people for a job in a time like this, they go like this, and they give off adrenaline, right, and cortisol, because they're defensive. When you ask them for advice, what do? Give off oxytocin, feel good, a little dopamine, and just a touch of serotonin. I mean, they feel pretty good about life when you ask them for advice, because what you're doing is elevating their status. And everybody likes to have their status elevated. There's a lot of research on neural leadership by a fellow that if you're interested, I'll tell you more about him later. We tell people, ask for 15 minutes, call them up, set up the interview. At 15 minutes, stop the interview. Stop it dead. Say, listen, I want to respect your time, sir. Thank you so much. If the person that you're doing the interview with says to you, no, let's talk some more, you are now in a job interview. And it happens all the time. Do 10 to 15 of these during normal times. 10 to 15, you'll find a job. Really. Now it's about 25. You just need to market yourself more. That's the most powerful method of finding a job of any that I know. And I've written on this topic if you're interested. In fact, my wife says I'll never have an unpublished thought. So, all right. Let AI do the laundry and the dishes. I hate doing the laundry and the dishes and all that stuff at home. So this is what you let AI do. Let AI write your resume, rewrite your resume 1,000 times. If they needed 250 words, they needed 100 words, just put it and say, give it to me in 100 words, give it to me in 30 words. Give me a summary of it, put it at the top. You can have it do all that sort of stuff. You can also have it match job descriptions in keywords, because you don't want those keywords in there, otherwise it doesn't make it through the system. You can have it do all that kind of stuff. There's no end to the way you can use it. You can use it to post things on Facebook. You can use it to write 20 posts on LinkedIn to show that you're active on LinkedIn. It's an amazing proposition. AI will help you do interviews. It will actually interview you on, you can actually interview AI and say, be an interview, corporate interviewer, and interview me for this job, and it will actually interview you. You have to type, and even that will be changing rapidly. But you can actually use it as a panel interviewer, as an individual interviewer. We tell people, if you get a chance for an interview, always do it in person. Always do it in person. Secondly, Zoom. Thirdly, phone. Fourthly, I don't know, smoke signals, or whatever, anyway. Last tip here before we send you forth is always follow up with an email or a text right the day of or the morning after, always. But here's the magic. Send a snail mail handwritten thank you note right away. It'll take a week or two or maybe sometimes 3 weeks to get there. But when it gets there, it's the most convincing piece of documentation you can get. People know it takes you a lot of time to find a stamp, write it out, and send it. Bob Cialdini did research on this and found out that this is for the fundraising folks, that when fundraising letters came out and there was a sticky note by the dean or whoever, and a little note on the sticky note, it went up like 19%. The amount of money went up like 19%. Unbelievable when you think of it, because people really realize that you took extra time to kind of write this note out. So simple stuff, but that note is very, very important. And finally, I would say, if somebody helps you along the way, for God's sake, tell them you got a job, fill them in, because you're going to come back to them again, and go forth and reboot or pimp your career, whatever. Thank you.